Hi, my name is Alexander, and today I'm going to show you a possible way of integration Fortigate and IBM SOAR. For this scenario, I have taken pretty common use cases to blocking IPs or URLs on Fortigate. First of all, you have to configure your firewall or proxy policies on Fortigate. And as a destination, as you can see, I'm using IP address thread feed. And at this moment, if we go to view entries, you can see that the list is empty. And as you can see, this list is hosted on internal web server. The same for the proxy policy. If we go to the proxy policy, you can see that the web filter SOAR integration is active. And inside this web filter, you can find blocked URL category. And the same type for this remote category is thread feed, and it hosted on a local server. By the way, I'm going to show you how I start a pretty simple web server. It's located on my integration server, and for this I just run a embedded web server in Python. Just go to your directory. It's a block list folder in my case, and as you can see, I have two files here. And after that, I just run python -m http server, and this file now accessible via HTTP protocol. So also in Fortigate, if you go to Security Fabric, external connection, you can see these feeds here. Now let's switch to the Fortigate client. And for demo scenario, I just try to ping Google DNS server -t, and you can see it's accessible, and try to go to Google web page. It's working at this moment. If we back to my SOAR server and go to test incident, switch to artifacts, you can see two artifacts here. And I've already configured manual action to block these artifacts on Fortigate. Let's run this command. So what's happened? The integration at this moment put these values to these files. Let's check that they're here. Yep. Now if we back to the Fortigate and refresh these thread feeds, we can see that now the IP address and URL added to this feed. And if we back to the client machine and try to refresh, for example, web page, we get access blocked. And also, as you can see, we lost connection with Google DNS. So it's pretty simple and common scenario, but what I want to show you is how to create a custom function for that, just because sometimes it may seem a pretty complicated task, but in reality not. So let's start from the beginning, and first of all you have to create a message destination for your new function. And in my case, it's function Fortigate. Please be sure that you give access to this message destination. In my case, it is integration server API keys. My integration server uses these API key to connect to resilient, or I should say to SOAR server. And without providing the access, my integration server will not be able to read a message from this message destination. Next, I created a function. I call it Fortigate, and inside this function I provided name, IP name, message destination, and I specified 4 inputs. All of these inputs will be used in our new function. The next step is to create a workflow. In my workflow, in preprocess script, you can see that inputs artifacts value equal artifacts value, incident ID for inputs incident ID, this principal display name, and the most important things is inputs file path. These path to my files, so you can see they are located in this folder. C block list IP txt. I have nothing in output or post-process script, and of course the last step, you need to create a rule. For example, if we have artifact type is equal to IP address, please run my workflow. That's all from the preparation step, and the next step will be to create a template. You can read about this in Resilient SDK webpage on pyp.org. So you can find some useful comments here. And as you can see, to generate a template, you need to run Resilient SDK command. So let's go to my integration server. I'll switch to functions directory, Fortigate, and that's my old one. Let's delete it. So now I started SMD in and go to C function Fortigate folder, and as you can see, it's empty at this moment. And what I need to run is Resilient SDK command. So there are a few parameters here. -p is just a name. -f it's an API name for the function. -w for workflow, and I want to add 2 workflows into my application, and to add a rule with this name. After I run this command, you can see that we've got a new folders here. And the most important template is located in function components in this file, function for the Fortigate. Let's open it in Notepad. It's a blank template for our new application or function. You don't need to spend time to analyze what's written here. Most important things that you have to add your code here. And for my demo scenario, I've already written it, and I just want to show you how simple it was. So if I edit my function, you can see that I've added only 4 strings if we compare to clean template. The first string is I import datetime, and here is the whole code for this simple application. I just define a variable now and open our files as a open file to add this information into the files. And by the way, if we go to our Fortigate and look into entries inside the block list, we have only information regarding IP, and that's information that it's valid. But if we go to integration server and to this folder, it's located here, block list IP. We also see that in comment section we've got information that this artifact has been logged by me, and we specified time for this. We imported datetime library, and we specified a context of incident. So you have all information who, when, and why added this artifact to a block list. I think it's pretty useful. So after we change our template and wrote all necessary code, we have two options. First option will be to generate a package. And for this purpose, we need to run command resilient SDK package -p. But in my scenario, I just put this Python file to my function directory. And every time when resilient circuit starts on integration server, it looks into this folder and load these components. So let's check. And for example, I would like to stop my integration server and run it by resilient circuits run. As you can see, the last string, we see that we successfully subscribed to message destination Fortigate. It's a good sign. And that's pretty much all. Let's try again, for example, with some different IP addresses. For example, let's add quad 9 IP address 999, create, switch to endpoint, run another cmd ping 999 -t. It is accessible now. Then we go to the SOAR block IP on Fortigate. Refresh thread feed. In my case, it will automatically refresh every minute, so I don't want to wait. And as you can see, at this moment, I've got two IP addresses here. And if we switch back to the client, we see that we lost connectivity with this IP address. I hope this could be helpful for someone. Thank you.